Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. And as you can see, today I'm doing a very special craft with my boy. We're gonna be making his Mechani Kong for his stop motion channel.
Stop motion verse.
Exactly, stop motion verse. Be sure to check him out. And also, I would like to thank you all very much for the 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. And for now, we're gonna be building this very special tutorial. I don't know if some of you are interested in this, but if you are, be sure to check it out, and also be sure to check out his channel, Stop Motion Verse, for some awesome stop motions. But for now, let's go to the crafting table and let's do this!
Yes!
Yeah!
Stop motion verse.
That's right! Alright, so I'm doing this video in collaboration with my son, Stop Motion Verse. If you like stop motions, check out his channel. I will leave a link in the description down below. Alright, so before we start, I do understand that not everyone will have the same figures. As so, this video is intended to inspire those who watch this and show what you can do with just a bit of imagination. So here are some of the pieces that me and my boy are gonna be using, but we do end up switching a few things, like the torso for instance. Alright, another crappy robot cheap toy, and we're gonna take it apart and use most of the parts to build our Mechani Kong. So first I'm gonna begin by sawing off his arm. Well, basically both arms. Also ignore the torso laying on the table, as we used another toy for it. Something I bought a long time ago and it came in handy when we were building this. So forget that torso you see laying there. Now I took the forearm apart and I'm filled it up with milliput and jammed in the ball joint. And I'm gonna secure that in place with some super glue and close the arm again. As it was such a cheap toy, you can take it apart very easily. And as you can see, the arm is still flexible and you can still move it. Just make sure you don't cover up the balls of the ball joint anywhere. Now let's cut off some piece of the head of the robot that are sticking out. Because, well, Mechani Kong does not have things sticking out of his head, so we're not gonna do that. So clipping it off, and I'm gonna fill the inside with milliput. Ignore my black fingers, very dirty because of the black milliput, as it was the only one I had available to make this. So now I'm gonna smooth this out with some water later. You're gonna need plenty of water when you're working with milliput, when you're working with any type of epoxy clay. Here I'm start already by smoothing out the head a little bit. Here I cut the ball joint to a smaller size to attach it to the torso, but we use a different torso later. Now this is for the neck part. Here I'm adding in more milliput to widen the upper arm joint of the figure. Do that for both arms, by the way. You can carve in some details as well if you like. This is this type of craft that I really did not have a plan. I'm just working as working on the fly, because eventually we're not going to see the details that I'm putting on in here anyway later, but live and learn. Now let's bulk out the arms with some more cut up robot parts. This looks like a nice piece, so we're gonna dry fit it, and my son suggested that I use the clippers instead of the saw, and he was right. So I'm clipping this off. And here I am already covering the pieces that I sculpted in, so I added a little bit more milliput into it and attaching super glue. But be mindful that you do not, I repeat, do not glue the ball of the ball joint. Do the same for the second upper arm as well, and fill up some more of the cavities with some milliput. But just always dry fit and be sure to leave the ball joints freed so the arm can move. You can also fill out anything of the arm that below that still has a gap in it with some milliput as well. Now for the head, I'm gonna begin by sculpting a little bit of lower jaw. Now my son suggested that we set it aside to do some more parts of the body first. And he was right as well. So this is the new body that we're gonna be using. Another cheap toy that didn't even cost, I think, €2. And it comes in handy with this. Now I'm gonna use the other toy and start by cutting it up further up and opening it up. Cutting off the pegs everywhere on the inside. Also those bits sticking out. And it fits rather well with this other toy. I'm taking the other robot apart. By the time that I'm done, there's not much left of the other one as I attached it everywhere. Dry fit the shins here, and then I'm gonna saw them off as well. I'm gonna glue on the back piece first, just by using hot glue. Sawing the back parts of the legs. And I'm gonna use some clippers to cut these things in two. And these will fit nicely as some tie plates. Bulking out the legs. Hot glue them on as well, but be mindful of the ball joint. Do both legs as well for this. Now also I reversed the feet. And I hot glued in some wooden block, as you see probably on the left side on the screen on top, for more stability. With some clippers I'm cutting off some more pieces, as you can see that it does not move very well, so I'm taking it apart bit by bit. Again, no planning is going into this, just testing. And this is where I reverse the feet, and here I'm hot gluing in some that wooden block. Now these parts would look great for the shoulder plate, so I'm hot gluing them on. But I attached the arms to make sure that I had enough rotation and articulation. So the arms could still move, as it is for this stop motion, so it would be worthless if the figure was not able to move. So I added some more hot glue to the neck. We attached the head so it would not go anywhere. And here I'm bulking out the sides, just cutting off pieces of the other figure and hot gluing them on. Some more parts that can go on the back of the leg here, all attached by hot glue. Looks nice. Our skeleton is slowly taking shape. Now, let's hot glue something on his butt. Cool. So our skeleton is taking shape quite nicely, as I mentioned. Now, a couple of years ago, I made this figure for my son to play with. I think he was about 6 years old at the time, so it's been a couple of years. And I thought of using this as a reference. Back then he did not do stop motions yet, he just played with it, and I didn't know how to sculpt to save my life, but I came up with something that looked rather cool. But it was time to create something different, something better. Here I'm attaching another piece to the back, the final back piece. Now something I again cut away from the other toy, using it as calves. Filling up some cavities with some hot glue, and some more robot parts to bulk out the sides, using some clippers and hot glue. And for that, my skeleton is complete. Now I'm gonna attempt some sculpting for the head. As I said, I'm not a sculptor by any means. I can dabble a bit with clay and do a few basic things. So I also advise everyone to use reference pictures and go from there. Now I folded a bit of milliput and laid it on the lower jaw to form the mouth, as you see here, and used an M type of shape to cover it on the eyes and the top of his head, and two little balls for the eyes. So basically a rough shape, and I sculpted another V on top of the M, if that makes any sense. But again, just look at some reference pictures of whatever it is that you're building. It kind of looks like a duck for the moment. Alright, so the original Mechani Kong has the light on top of his head, and I'm going to make this next. I'm also covering the back of his head and smoothing it all out with some water, so that our Mechani Kong takes some Mechani Kong shape, or Mecha Kong, or whatever you want to call him. I'm gonna carve in some more details. I redid the eyes and carved in some more details on the light thingy on his head as well. Sorry for the sped up shape, but as I said, I'm not a sculptor, so slowing this all down would not really help you much. I'm pressing in the nostrils here, as you can see. Smooth out everything again. I do this a lot. Hey, my son is happy, so I'm happy. Now I lay a strip of milliput again over the lower jaw, giving it more dimension. When that is done, as you see here, then I'm rolling two little balls and adding them on the side of the jaw, and I'm flattening them a bit, so it looks like this. Now I begin by filling and sculpting up the chest and neck area, also on the back, drawing in and sculpting in some details, as you see me do here. I do the same for the back and for the neck and for the shoulders as well. Those things sticking out of the shoulder, I'm gonna clip them off and extend the shoulder more. And first I'm gonna add more clay to it. I'm filling up the back of the head and the sides of the shoulders here, wetting my fingers constantly, creating more of a, and starting to take more of a Mechani Kong shape by now. Again, loads of water. Water is your friend when working with this. Doing the sides as well, the sides of his neck, smooth it all out. Now I clipped the pieces of the shoulder plates and glued another piece on the upper arms, as you can see. Reattaching his legs, and here he is dry, and as you can see, I extended the shoulder plates as well. And we came a long way from our two little stupid robot toys. So I sculpted something that resembles a belt and placed that around his waist. Also I glued something on front of the waist as well later on. Here I'm sculpting our more details on the shoulder plates. I'm doing that 2 times on both sides of the shoulder, so be sure to mirror that. And smoothing it all out to make it blend in with the rest of the shoulder. Again, do that on both sides. Just play with the clay and have fun with it. It was a fun project. Me and my son really had fun with this. Now here's what I said. I glued on the wooden block on the feet and I sculpted some mechanical toes onto them. Then I took the figure apart and began by spraying it all black, as you see here. When that is dry, I oversprayed it with a silver spray. Like this. The axe, by the way, that you see laying there is just a piece of foam bar attached to a barbecue skewer that fits into the hand. Now I did not film the painting, but here's what we did. We gave the entire model a wash with Drakenhof Nightshade and then repainted the metal parts with a gunmetal, leaving the recesses shaded. Then the eyes got a yellow color and some red and green paint was used to create some glow effects. And here we have the finished action figure. As you see, fully painted, the axe. And my boy is ready to use this in his stop motion movies. He's happy with it. I'm happy with it. Not bad for basically a €5 toy if you combine all the pieces. So he can make movies with this now. Now this was, as I said, in collaboration with my son, as this build was for his YouTube channel, Stop Motionverse. And if you like stop motions, be sure to check the guy out. He really does make great stop movies, as he's only 9 years old. So to him I would say a massive thank you for doing this with me, buddy. Much appreciated. And to you all watching, thank you all for the growing support. And wow, 1,000 subscribers and growing. I really didn't expect that. Thank you all, and I appreciate all of you. And again, very special thanks to my son for doing this. I hope you all enjoyed this video, as it was a bit different than what you're used to by me. And yeah, stay tuned for more to come, as we will continue our Necromunda series shortly. So thank you all for watching. See you next time. Bye all. Bye bye.